Hey guys, welcome to Approach to Nerd. Finally, for our LWORD Season 2, Episode 10 season finale review. Last night was insane. I tried to hang out and wait for the Showtime app to post this episode, and it never effing happened. I don't know what happened last night because literally, like clockwork, every week since the season, finale, our premiere of Season 2, we have gotten it posted on Thursday nights between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. Nothing. It didn't even drop for me until this morning. So, and like late this morning, I think it was like 8-ish or 9-ish, maybe a little later. It was weird. But we finally got it. We got the season finale of the L Word posted, and oh Lord, this episode was crazy. It starts off with an intervention to try to get Finley to go into rehab, which Finley does need to go into rehab because Finley is an alcoholic. Finley does not realize she's an alcoholic, but Finley is a straight up alcoholic. It does not go well. And the people that were at this intervention, because we see Micah was in this for like a millisecond. I guess they didn't have enough story between him and Maribel to be in the rest of the episode. But Micah, Shane and Tess, Alice, and of course, Sophie were all there to try to convince Finley to make the right choice and go into rehab. And Alice was even willing to pay for this. Well, of course, Finley got in her feelings. She felt ambushed. She started calling out people. She's like, Tess, you drank the other day, and what were you guys like in your 20s? I'm fucking up in my 20s, blah, blah, blah. All fair, but except the fact that, you're talking to your employer, you're talking to your girlfriend and your former employer who loves you. And of course, Micah was being there as support. And Finley's like basically flat out says no, even so far as when Sophie says, I love you, she says, fuck you. She was hurt and in her feelings because she felt called out, which I kind of get because it was unexpected. But at the same time, I mean, she's an addict. So it is what it is. So long story short, with Finley's storyline in this, she leaves. At some point, she gets wasted and she's partying. It looked like she was like making out, not really making out, but she was like, this girl was all over her and she wasn't pushing this girl away. And then she decided to leave and she almost got hit by a car. They made it look like she got hit by a car. And the next thing you know, she's sitting on the couch at Sophie's mother's place because Sophie decided to go stay with her mother, which is interesting. We'll talk about Sophie in a minute. And she decides to go to rehab. But when Sophie's taking her to rehab, the place that Alice basically is paying for, you see her get out of the car. She said, you're going to be here when I get out. Sophie's like, yes. Finley gets out of the car. She walks towards rehab and she turns around and looks at Sophie. And then Sophie's looking at her. And I'm like, is this a moment where we see that Finley decides F this again and then just bolts? Or does she actually carry through and go into the rehab center? We don't know. They left it open-ended like that. So we don't know. But Sophie was definitely having some emotional issues in this episode about it. Like, again, she didn't want to pressure Finley to go. She didn't want to make her do something she didn't want to do. But then when she came home from work, and Finley was there, she's like, where did you go today? Did you go out? I will check the trash. And, she basically decides then that she can't do it anymore. So that's when she goes to stay with her mom. So it's interesting. It's interesting where they are right now than where they were in season 1. It's a very interesting, the progression of this, especially when Finley was going home to fix herself, which I still don't get why the hell she was trying to go to Kansas City, because that seems to be where the root of her trauma is. It doesn't make sense to go to your trauma place unless you want closure and you're dealing with shit to actually say you're going to fix yourself and then come back. So that whole situation was weird. But yeah, so that was their part of this story. Alice got a bad review on her book from one person, and she got in her feelings. She kind of snapped at Tom a little bit. He had planned this like elaborate date with like swan boats. I thought it was cute. And she kind of blew that off, and she felt bad about it later because she threw herself a going away party for her book tour. And so she told Shane and Bet that she bought him like, I think it was a pound of to the chocolate covered candy of crabs, basically, or lobster. I think it was crabs because, he's allergic to them. But it was like the thought, because remember the episode where they had the crabs and they released them in the ocean and they probably died because they forgot to take the bandings off of their claws. Well, she was trying to be sweet. And he's a really great guy. He really is. He comes, to the party and even tells her, you probably just said this because you're in the top, seller list. And she's like, I am. And they're like number 8. So her book is number 8 right now, on the top seller list. I do like her and Tom. I don't know. I really wish they had played out a little bit more about the phobia she's starting to get for dating a guy, because again, as somebody who's bisexual, I understand this concept. When you date a girl, you're considered in the club. The moment you date a guy, you're kicked out of the club, even though the definition of biphobia is what? I mean, it's basically discriminating against somebody who likes both sexes. So it's just really, really weird. But again, I love Tom. I love the actor. I loved him on Scrubs. So again, he's I even liked him on Clueless. If you guys can remember that far back, he was on Clueless as well, the TV series, a version of it. So I love him. I really need her and Tom to stay together because they have chemistry. And again, she's a bisexual character, people. It's fine. That's literally the definition of the word, liking both sexes. So, but I do like Tom. Now, the caveat to this is when they were getting on the plane, he was going to the bathroom. He was like, I gotta pee. It was just so cute. Well, Alice is putting their stuff up in the overhead compartment, and she feels something in his jacket, and it's a ring. Now, she's already assuming, oh, hell, he's about to get engaged to me, which I don't know why she would think that, because I don't think this is going to be a U-Haul relationship. But then again, you never were. It is the L word. I don't know if that ring was for her. And she may be taking that out of context. That might be a ring he got back from his old fiance. It could be his mom's ring. We don't know why there's a ring in his pocket, but it may not have anything to do with her. And I think she's about to create a world where it is. Because that's what Alice does. So I'm really curious to see where this plays out in season 3, because that was a funny way of ending that storyline. I'm gonna save Tina and Bet for last, guys, because I'm just in my feelings. So let's move on to Danny and Gigi. So Danny had a rough time. She's having a rough time. Let's just be real. She's having a rough time this season. She's at her dad's trial. That she goes to her dad's trial. She tells Gigi, pretty much I got this, because she worked in PR. She's bullshitted her way through a lot of situations and they got the company out of a lot of really tough situations. So as part of her jobs, of course, she thinks I can handle this. She can't handle this. So she goes to the trial, and even Gigi's like, I don't think you got this. But she goes to the trial, and she's sitting there and she's listening to all the crap that her dad supposedly did. And she starts having a panic attack. And she tells Gigi, I can't be here. I need to leave. So she goes in the hall with Gigi. And whether you like Gigi or not, I like that Gigi will stand up to other people for you. Danny was having a panic attack. Here comes the lawyer saying, you can't leave. You'll be held in contempt of court. And she, of course, Gigi's like, stop being a lawyer and try being human. Look at her. She's not well. And she's like, well, basically, you need to get your ass back in there. That's all this woman kept saying. And I love how Gigi was like, you know what? Fuck you. And they just started leaving. And I was like, that is the kind of person you want in your corner when other people are dishing shit and you're just not in a good place. So I actually do like Danny and Gigi. Again, I'm still on the equator. I'm not 100% in, but I'm not out. I'm on the equator. I think of any character that Gigi could get with that potentially she could be good with, I think Danny is definitely the number one contender. She speaks Farsi. They have a lot in common. They have similar views. Danny's more like Bet in terms of temperament, but at the same time, Gigi seems to know how to handle that shit and doesn't let her walk over her. So I like them in that regard. And I love that Gigi took her to meet her big ass family and they were all getting along. But what got me had me in my damn feelings. And honestly, guys, I watched a show called Station 19 and something happened in there where somebody was served like divorce papers at work. This is a similar situation. They literally came to the house to arrest her for contempt of court at Gigi's family's effing gathering. I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me right now. Poor Daddy. Daddy is just going through shit. And that's going to be on her permanent record too. Because when you're held in contempt of court, this is not a misdemeanor. They take that shit. Well, it might be a misdemeanor. I think it's actually, I don't know. I have to look at that. It might be a felony, but I think either way, contempt of court seems to be something that would stay on your permanent criminal record. Like she'll have a criminal record, should I say. So, and I could be wrong. I have to ask my spouse. My spouse has a psychology degree, but is going to be going to law school. So I need to ask if that is something that is possible. But I don't know. I just feel like Danny's life is being put through a damn garbage disposal. Like, not even a shredder, an effing garbage disposal. Like, every avenue of her life. Like, even how her dad was talking to her when she's like, I can't, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I had to go. And he's like, okay, we'll just do it tomorrow. And she's like, I don't want to. What if I can't do that? And he's like, well, you need to do this. I've given you everything. She's like, I never asked for any of that. I just asked for you. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so effing sad that her dad is like, me. And she's like, listen to me. I'm literally losing my shit and you don't give a damn. That's literally what she's saying to him. And then when she went to Gigi's family's event, she's like, I don't know if I should be here. I don't know how to act around families. I'm like, this girl, she needs, again, Linda. She needs Linda's couch from Lucifer. Therapy. So yeah, but the big thing, the big shocker for her storyline in the season finale is that she got effing arrested, held in contempt of court at Gigi's family's gathering. That is embarrassing as hell. And I don't know what's going to happen to poor Danny after that. It's just, it's a mess. It is an effing mess. Guys, I don't know. I'm kind of in my feelings about it. So I'll talk about Jordy and Angie. They're back on their little love track. They're young. Of course, they're going to make mistakes. They're teenagers. It's fine. I do like that Jordy was more supportive of, Angie's grief process. She didn't go to the funeral because she felt like, I'm not his daughter. I'm just a girl. And she was very upset. But you could see that Angie was very affected by the fact that Marcus died and she never got to meet him. Yeah, it's like a part of her is gone. I get that. I like that she got to connect with her, I guess, half sister, got to get all her questions answered by their side of the family. That was very cool. I thought that whole scene was very cool. And then when Bet tells Angie, I'm, in charge of his estate, and there's a painting that he did a painting for Angie, and it is very beautiful. And I love that she got that moment. So I do love that. I love how they closed out Angie's, storyline. She's still got a lot of stuff to deal with, but I really loved how basically that played out in terms of Angie and how realistic it was. Because I didn't want her to just go to the funeral. But now I wonder if she's going to have a connection to his family, because she does have a half sister, and she does, her donor's brother and family are technically her family genetically. So I want to see how that plays out next season. I don't want this to be like, okay, a one and done. He's dead. Now we don't need to talk about it anymore. So I'm hoping that we get that expanded in season 3. So we will see. Another thing I'm in my feelings about, guys, why can't Shane ever be happy? I mean, is it like cosmically, like, just think about this. Yes, the thing with Cherie, whatever the hell, was effed up in OG. She was cheating with a married woman. We don't care about that relationship. F that relationship. Throw in the trash. Nobody gives a damn. That was one of the Shane's F-ups. Promiscuous. Shane was known to sleep around. It's a thing. The thing with Carmen will always piss me off, because I really like their chemistry. I really like Sarah. She is an actress. It's just a thing, but I get it. So Carmen is not going to be a thing. Carmen's never coming back to the show. I get that. The thing with Molly was Jenny's fault, because Jenny didn't give Shane that damn letter. And when Shane found out about it, I think she was buying a gift, and she ran into Molly, and Molly was in a relationship with another woman now. And she said, I understand why you didn't write me back. And of course you can see on Shane's face, like, I never fucking got it. And then she realized that Jenny had withheld this information. So Shane didn't have that relationship either. And then of course the thing with Kiara, her last relationship over the baby and the miscarriage. Finally, we got Tess. And I feel like Tess and Shane are very good together. I like them together. They're cute together. They have chemistry together. Why in the hell can't Shane catch a effing break in the relationship department? Shane literally says, I'm in love with you, Tess. But Tess is like, I have to move back to Las Vegas to take care of my mother. Now, I get it. I've been a caretaker for my mother and my previous spouse. They both had cancer. They both passed. My brother has special needs. He has autism and retardation. I am his caretaker. I understand family, wanting to be there for family. But it is so effed up. It is so effed up that Shane is finally getting her shit together. And she's finally thinking, I actually want to be with this person. I can see myself with this person. And then they're like, but nope. Long distance relationship or breakup. Because Shane feels rooted to LA. Shane started a business. Shane's friends are there. This is the first time Shane says, I feel roots. I don't want to leave. And Tessa's like, but I got to go. And so now it's like, what the hell, you know? And the way they left it is Shane said, I love you. And then they end up sleeping together. And then Tess gets a call from her mom, more than like that was her mother. And she says, I'm on my way. And I don't know if Tess is just going to up and leave. And because it kind of looked like she was looking at Shane. Shane was asleep. And I don't know if that means Tess is going to get up, get her shit, and just go to LA, Las Vegas, never to return. Or I don't know what's going to happen. They left it open-ended once again for season 3. But I really like them together, and I'm worried that Tess is no more. And then Shane's going to be like this never-ending, eternal play. Let's just say fuck boy. That's basically what it is. And I'm in my feelings about it. Because I feel like if you're going to get your shit together, it's going to be in your 40s. I'm in my 40s. I really, really, really want Shane to have a happy ending. At some point, I feel like it needs to happen. And then we're going to come to Bette and Tina. So, in the last episode, Tina just blurted out, are you still in love with me? But then, of course, Marcus ended up flatlining and dying. So we never got that answer. No, she asked that question. Then they went and saw Marcus. And then, he flatlined and died. So nothing got answered. Bette kept thinking about it. She was with Pippa. And Tina called, and Pippa's like looking at them like, what the hell is going on? Because Bette like jumped up and answered the phone. The way she was talking to Tina is not like you would talk to just your ex and the mother of your child. It was more like, oh, so I'll see you later. And that. And Pip's like, you over this woman? And she's like, Bette's like, no, I'm over it. She's just the mother of my child, and she'll always be in my life. But then later, when Alice is shopping for a wedding gift, they like her, Shane, and Bette are walking around the store, and then Bette just brings it up. And both friends were like, she's like, Tina asked if I was still in love with her. Can you believe that? We're like, yeah. So they even are like, are you over this woman? And my point of view is, if you weren't thinking about this shit, why did you bring it up in the first damn place with your friends? That is number one, a sign that you're not over Tina. And then number 2, Bette literally confronts Tina about it at Alice's going away party. And what's so effed up about the situation is Carrie is there. And Carrie, remember the last time she was with Bette, she was in her feelings about how Bette treated her. Well, she's at the party with Tina. She asked Bette if she wants to drink. She goes to get some like club soda with lime. And so she goes off. Bette literally brings it up right then and there with Tina. And, they're talking or whatever. And then she's like, well, I wanted to have this conversation. And Tina's like, well, I don't. And she's like, well, maybe I need to have it for me. And she's like, I wasn't going to say anything, but then I was talking to Shane and Alice. And then they asked me what would happen if you came to my house and confessed that you were in love with me. And she didn't finish that statement. So they kind of left that open. Like, would she have said, no, I don't want to get back with you? Or yes, I would want to be with you. She didn't get a chance because Carrie walked and said, I knew it. And literally got in her feelings and said, you know what? I don't believe in violence, but I really, basically she wanted to beat Bette's ass. Tina told Bette to go. And Carrie ends up calling off the wedding. So Tina gets pissed and walks over to Bette, and she's like, this is what you wanted. And then it happened in front of Pippa. So then Pippa gets pissed and says, I'm not going to be in this, messy situation. And so then she leaves. And then Bette's like literally there crying. You see Alice come there. And then, of course, later they're having like, at the CAC, they're having some kind of event for, I'm thinking it's Pippa and the other artists, which quite frankly, I hope there's still other artists, because really, Bette was like, basically representing all of these, POCs. And then they just seemed to go out the window when Pippa came into the picture. So I'm like, I'm still hoping she's still on board with everybody, but she wasn't going to go. And then Angie talked her into going. She's like, you got to be courageous. You don't know what could happen in this life. So you got to make big moves. So you see Pippa get out of us like, I don't know if it was a limo, it might have been, but she's doing like a red carpet thing and she's getting ready to go to the art show. And they ask her, do you have a +1? You see Bet getting all dolled up to go to this thing. And then I told my spouse, me and my spouse were watching this. I'm like, I fucking guarantee you Tina's going to be at that door. Lord, she opened that door and Tina was at that door. I was like, mother F. I'm like, you can be effing kidding me. So yeah, Pippa looking for Bet getting ready to go to the art show. And then Tina's like, can we talk? I'm like, no. Like, guys. And you know what's so messed up about this? Remember the end of season 1 when we had Sophie making the choice of where to go in the airport, rather than go to get on the plane with Danny or get on the plane with Finley? This is the same effing thing. The last fucking scene of this damn season finale. Will Bet go with Tina or go to the art show? Why are you doing this, LWORD? Why? Gen Q. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I was like, literally, I was staring at the episode and I was like, please keep going to the art show. Let it go. Like, channel your inner Elsa and get the hell out of the house. Oh, I was hot. So let me open the chat box. Hello, Toya G. How are you? I like her and Tom too. Yes, her and Tom are absolutely adorable. And they're suited because they're both like very funny and quick-witted. And so I like their sense of humor. And I think they just match to me. I think they're cool. Danny is going through it. Yes, she is. And she doesn't deserve it. That's what's so messed up about this whole thing. I feel so bad. Beginning of this season, Danny was like going to get married. She had plans to have a family with Sophie. Her career was going great. Then it went to my fiance cheated on me. I mean, my feelings about that. Then she's like, oh, my dad's going to jail for, potentially fraud and all kinds of, accusations that he's been doing on the download that I don't know are true or not. And then she's like, watching Sophie get with Finley, it's her and Bet got into it, which has not been resolved. It's just been one thing after another. And now she is a whole ass arrested for contempt of court. So and she has not been in therapy. She hasn't been in therapy. So I'm not feeling what they did with Danny's storyline. I know they took a huge dump on her this season. The trial really spelled it out for people that didn't completely understand why Bet was so mad with Danny's father in the company. This man was directly manipulating info that caused opioid deaths. Yeah. Oh, no, see, and what I don't get is we need to all understand that Danny's father is just hard trash. I understand this. I think everybody needs to understand that man is just complete effing trash. And what gets me is that and this is just me. Sorry, guys. My fan is going crazy. So I'm trying to make sure it doesn't hit my light. What gets me is that, of course, it's your dad, right? So Danny loves her dad. I have a similar situation. My father is toxic as fuck. I love my dad, but as a person, I can't stand his ass. I'm going to be real with you. I would not talk to him if it was not for my brother. But she's in a similar situation. She's with somebody who is controlling, who is sneaky, manipulative. But at the same time, she lost her mother, like I lost my mother. And so that's her only parental unit. So she's torn. She's torn because she loves this man. But at the same time, she doesn't like this man. And she's in that situation. And I think it's so fucked up. That whole thing is messed up. And all of this stuff happening to Danny, back to back to back. I mean, I don't know. I'm in my feelings about her. So I feel really bad about it. Maria, I'm going to miss your LWORD Gen Q reviews, but you've gotten me back into Wino Earp and a few episodes in the season 4. Love your point of view. Thank you. I'll have more stuff coming up. I know I've been a little bit behind. I do voiceover, so I've been getting a lot of work. So some of my videos have been slower, but yeah, there's going to be a lot. I have 4 live streams today, guys. My Arrowverse one will be at 4 o'clock today. I have a Trash Comics at 6. And I have a What If review at 7:30. So they're all Central Standard Time. So you'll be seeing all these pop up when this stream is over. So I have 3 more streams today. And then I have 3 streams tomorrow. So you'll be seeing a lot of me over the next 2 days. So be aware. Be aware. Maria, did you miss your latest Stargirl Supergirl weekly wrap up? No, that is going to be at 4 o'clock today. I just have to set up the stream. I think this finale, we saw the fruition of Bet's comment earlier in the season. There was one of the most selfish things I have ever seen. Oh yeah, Bet, really? Well, like I said, and we don't know. This is another thing we have to think about. We don't know what the hell Bet was going to say. She never finished her sentence before Carrie came back. She could have been like, I was thinking about it. And if you showed up at my door and you told me you wanted to be back with me and try again, then I probably would have told you, no, that train has, that ship has sailed. That could have been what she was going to say. We don't know what she was going to say because she never got a chance to finish it. And they did that on purpose because they wanted to have a Sophie moment from season 1 at the end of this damn season where it's a will bet or will bet not. So we can get a season 3 renewal. That's what that shit is about. That's what it was. Plus, they wanted to drive me personally insane. So, yay. What are we going to do with that LWORD Generation Q review? We're going to review other shit. That's what we're going to do. I'm also on the border with Gigi and Danny, but at the moment I'm more bored. They've moved a little fast for me, and their scenes are getting a little repetitive. I hope we get more scenes from Gigi's perspective. I really do, too. I don't hate Gigi. The person I found the most annoying in this season, to be honest with you, it's got to be Nat. Nat got on my ever fucking nerves this entire damn season. I do not like her character. I do not like the tiny bit of character development we got from Nat just went out the effing window when she pulled this polyamorous shit. I am not going to be one of those people that judges you for your lifestyle. I don't care what you do in your life. I don't care what you do behind closed doors. But this going back and forth, trying to get back with Alice when you know Alice is not, she doesn't want to stay in this. She tried it. It didn't work for her. She is monogamous. Yes, she is cheated, but she is monogamous. And she doesn't want to be the third person. She wants to be somebody's first person. She doesn't want to share. And Nat is selfish as fuck, and I don't like her character. And hopefully we won't see her anymore. So that's the thing. The Bet and Tina storyline is getting old to me. It's getting old to many. I've always thought in OG that they were cute. And a lot of pairings are cute. I mean, obviously the chemistry is there. But her and Pippa's chemistry, to me, is better. It's a better fit than her and Tina. And plus, there's a reason they're exes. Let it go. I don't understand it. Yes, I yelled at the screen, big moves, Tina, big moves. Could you imagine her screaming that? Big moves. Now move your ass to the side so I can leave. I'm like, Bet was getting ready to let go of Tina and move on. She wasn't about to profess her love to Tina in front of Carrie. Hope she gets to finally finish her thought. This is why people don't like Tina. Yeah, Tina is like that roadblock that just won't go away. It's like that nail in the tire. It's like, why are you doing this? It's a mess. Yes, Danny didn't deserve it. No, they better have some kick-ass redemption shit for Danny in season 3. I'm going to be like all over here angry grandmaing because I'm so tired of them picking on Danny. I'm over the whole roller coaster of Bet and Tina. Everybody is. Nobody bought a ticket for that. I don't know why they keep making us go on the ride, but whatever. Yes, and Carrie and Pippa don't deserve that. I know. And see, you can tell that Carrie has her self-esteem and inferiority complex is so off the chain. She's like, I can't compete with that woman. And, the way Tina said, I don't expect you to, it kind of sounded like what she really said was, yeah, Bet is light years ahead of you, but I'm with you right now. Consolation prize. That's literally how that shit sounded. I mean, that could just be me. And even Carrie was kind of like, really? But we've seen that Tina literally treats Carrie like a secondhand citizen, like when they were in the parking lot and after the therapy session. And she was like, Carrie was like, I don't want to be third in this relationship. I want to be second to Angie. And she's like, well, Bet is in my life and you can't stop that. And, don't talk about her like that and blah, blah, blah. And she was all defensive and shit. And I'm like, Tina, woman, stop. And then when she met Pippa for the first time, Tina was jealous. She had the green eye AF. It looked like she wanted to smack the shit out of Pippa, but she turned around and said, oh, she took me to your, Bet took me to your exhibit years ago, and I'm still thinking about it. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm like, you just needed something to say to cover the fact that you were jealous as hell. That's what you did. Still not sure how did the cops know where Danny was. That's a damn good question. I don't know. How did they know where she was? Huh. Unless she told her dad where she was and her dad was being a dick and then said, oh, she's at this restaurant, go get her because she won't testify for me. I mean, I could see her dad selling her out. I really could. In the end, I was so happy to see Danny blend with Gigi's family, even for only a minute. I believe she will be folded into Gigi's large family and she will get the love of a family she deserves. I hope so. That is what I want to happen. I really want Gigi's family to love her. I want the thing with Gigi to actually work out. Maybe the reason Gigi cheated on Nat is because Nat is batshit crazy. I do not condone, I'm saying it again, Maria Amelia Park does not condone cheating on any level. But if I had to understand a situation, it would be her and Nat because Nat is just useless. I'm like, and I do not like Nat at all. I'm so glad that Alice met Tom because Alice and Nat, no. It's just a mess. Like, they really need to stop bringing in other people in the Bet and Tina's drama. I know. I know. They really need to stop this. I thought Helena was coming back too this season. I thought if any time she was going to show up, it was going to be in the season finale, but there's no Helena. So I don't know what's going on with that either. Glad Finley sought help. I just really hope it is for her and not for Sophie. I know when she was crossing the street, she was having flashbacks of all the time she was with Sophie. But that is a very good question, actually, and observation, because I don't know. Even when she was going into the rehab center, she turned around and looked at Sophie, at her, like looking at Sophie, looking back at her from the car. And I kept thinking to myself, number one, are you really going in there? Because we didn't see her go in there. She was following the guy in. She turned around and looked at Sophie. Does that mean that's a moment where she's making that decision, whether she's actually going to do it and why she's doing it? I don't know. I'm worried about it. Until we see her in season 3 coming out of rehab, I don't even know if she actually went in. She didn't go in the door. And let's be clear, if Sophie watched her go in and drove off, she could come right back out. So, I mean, I don't know. You have to go to rehab and you have to make the decision for yourself. You have to be clean for yourself. You have to fight your addiction because this is a lifetime thing. This is not, I'm going to rehab and instantly be cured, which she may come out thinking in her head. Something else, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, like Tess fired her because she wouldn't go to rehab, and I get that. But this is something I've always felt is interesting. If you are an alcoholic and you have a lot of trouble staying away from alcohol, why in the hell do you work in a bar serving alcohol all day? You know what I mean? Like Tess does it. That means that Finley will come back and she will be doing it. Why would you put yourself in a position to constantly be tempted daily? I do not understand that principle. Honestly, Finley needs to go back and work for Alice. She does not need to be working at a bar. She does not need to be around parties or alcohol. I do not understand that. So maybe Tess firing her was the best thing that could have happened to Finley. That's just my opinion. Because I'm telling you, if I had a problem with alcohol, there's no effing way. I'm not even going to the damn grocery store near the beer aisle because I'll be tempted to buy shit. That's just how it is. They're going to have to do, I'm never leaving my car. I'm going to do it like an Instacart situation or, curbside pickup. So I never have to go in the store and buy shit. So that to me I always thought was interesting that they keep putting these people, I'm an alcoholic. I'm also the bartender. What? Like, what the hell? No. Mm-mm. Can't Tess just move her mom to LA? I think that she said something about the facility was like top notch for dealing with her mother's MS. I think that was the main thing, and that's where she looked around in LA, and I think they didn't find anything. Now I remember her talking about something like that, but that could just be me, and that could have been another TV show. To be honest with you, I watch a lot of random shit. So, but if not, then that is a very good question. And that might be what happens in season 3. Shane may be like, I will pay for it. Because it could also be that she could afford this place in Las Vegas and she couldn't afford a place in LA. And then Shane just may pay for it. I don't know. That's a good question, actually. No, not Nat. Let's hope she sells off into the sunset with her own damn self. Elbow cop. Yes. Sell off. Fall off. I don't care what you do. Just go away. Pippa is so in love with Bet. Every time she looks at Bet, Bet is in love with Pippa too. She said this, this is exactly what Bet wanted, but truth be told, that's exactly what Tina wanted. Yep. Tina was like, you still want me, bitch. Like, she wants her to be hung up on her. She likes the power trip. I wanted to know so much more about Sophie's father. It felt like her triggers and comments about Finn were part projection. Yep, agree. Finn needs to be motivated from within. She might jet. That's what I'm worried about. I am worried. Until I see this woman walk out of rehab, I don't believe she went in that door. That's where I'm at. I mean, Tina said this is exactly what Bet wanted, but think about it. It's actually exactly what Tina wanted all along. Bet pushed Carrie away. Tina's going to Bet. Tina just stopped. Yeah, it does seem like she used, instead of her having to break Carrie's heart, she got Bet to do it in a way. Huh. And I'm worried she's going to play the Angie card. Though I do think that Angie, on some level, is more, I feel like she's more adult than the adults in some situations. And I kind of feel like she may see this for what it is. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think Angie's going to let Tina use her to manipulate Bet into, doing what she wants or coming back to her. We'll see, though. Like I said, we will see. I really wanted more Gigi and Danny. They wasted a lot of time on boring storylines when they could focus on a new one with Gigi. Also, are you saying Jean? Is that the name? Is that our couple name, Ginny? I like it. Ginny? Am I saying it right? Ginny? Also, why should the finale be 49 minutes? I know. I expected much longer than that. And they didn't air it on time. It's a bullshit. You're speaking my truth right now. I don't know. Oh my God, that's so crazy to me with the alcoholic thing for Tess and Finley. That is why I'm concerned about the relationship with Tess and Shane. Yeah, I am too. I will say I love that Tess is a sponsor. We have seen Tess fall off the wagon because we saw her do it last season when she got drunk and had sex with Finley. And we saw it this season when she had a drink. She did have a drink in the last episode. And I was thinking, and I guess I didn't bring it up in the last one, but I'm so used to people in TV land doing shit that's just like insane to me. Like, if you are an alcoholic, why are you getting wine? Why are you taking champagne? Alcohol. Like, but it is a thing, I guess. Something I did not like is that Shane told about Carrie to Bet and not Tina. Like, she wanted the Bet to stop the wedding. I don't get it. Oh, you mean when Shane was like, well, I feel like Carrie's having cold feet. I know why Shane did this. Shane is actually being a good friend, because if you are friends with someone and you think that they're getting with somebody and they really want somebody else, you call them out on their shit. The one thing I will say about these three, they do call them each other out on their shit all the time. So that's just Shane saying, you need to figure your shit out. I don't think she was pushing her to Tina. I think she was like, don't waste your time and mess up this other woman's life if you're still hung up on your damn ex. So I think that was like her way of saying that. I don't think that she was basically saying, hey, I like Tina, so why don't you just run off and get with her and say, F you to this Pippa chick, because, whatever. I think she literally was like, so Bet, make up your damn mind. That's what I think was really happening. I do love that. I love the comment Shane made about Tom, where she said that's probably the guy what did she say? That's the first guy I've ever really liked, or this is the best guy I've ever really liked, or something like that. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that they liked Tom. I thought that was cool. Yeah, Ginny is this ship name for Gigi and Danny. Love them as a couple. I mean, they're growing on me. Like I said, I was on the equator. I never hated them. I just wasn't sold 100%. But after how Gigi was defending Danny, I don't know. I just feel like they're a good match, because I was not the biggest fan of Bet and Gigi. Of course, Bet and Gigi had sexual chemistry, but not anything else. But it's just, I don't know. There's just something about Gigi and Danny. And it's not just because Danny's very understanding of her culture, of Gigi's culture. Just something about them. I kind of like it. So, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We will see where that goes. Yes, Shane. I kind of wish Shane had the convo with Tina instead. Yeah, I really think they should add an intervention for both of them and be like, work your shit out. We're tired. It's been years. We won't put up with this crap anymore. Blah, blah, blah. But of course, I think that'll happen when somebody tells me in the show where the hell Tasha is. So that's another problem I have. Where is Tasha? I'm mad we didn't get Bet flowing through with that all white suit outfit at the gala opening. I know she looked good, right? But Bet always looks good. Bet looks good in a damn paper bag. That girl put some earrings on, some lipstick, and a paper bag, and still go out there styling. So, you know what? I'm not gonna hate on it. She'll come back. She'll probably wear that same damn outfit in the premiere of season 3. And that depends though, because it could be like season 2's opening where it's like what, a month later? Was it a month later? I forgot the time. I know it was progressed. It wasn't exactly where we left off. So whatever happens in this season finale, it may be a month or 2 later when we come back, which means Danny will probably be arrested at that point. Maybe her dad will be in jail. I mean, we have no idea. They like to fast forward. Like they like to time skip sometimes. So I don't know. We'll see. I really want to know what you think is going to happen next season. Okay, what I think is going to happen next season. So there's 2. There's what I want to happen and what I think is going to happen. So I missed your comment. Can you copy and paste it? Because if I try to scroll up, it's just going to be a mess. All right, so what I think is going to happen. I think, okay, let's start with this. What I think is going to happen is that Finley, if she does go to rehab, only went to rehab to make Sophie happy and to not lose Sophie. Not because she thinks she needs to go, but because she thinks that she will lose her girlfriend. What I want to happen is she goes to rehab because she realizes she needs help. And then when she gets out of there, she actually gets a therapist, which I don't know why the hell Micah didn't offer to find a therapist for Finley to begin with, but that's a whole other conversation. I want Danny and Gigi to have a chance to learn more about each other and be a couple and have, Danny be integrated more into Gigi's family and to stay a hell away from her dad. I want her dad to go to jail. Do I think her dad's going to go to jail? Probably not. I think he's going to find a way to get out of it. And he's going to be even more of a toxic asshole to her next season. But I want him to pay for his crimes. If quote unquote, he did them and he goes to jail. I think that's the best, benefit for that. I want Shane to find a way to stay with Tess, whether they have long distance relationship, whether they, we find out that the reason that Tess's mother is not in the rehab center there is because she can't afford, not rehab, living situation, a living home, is because she can't afford it. And that Shane ends up, paying for it, because I really like them together. And if Jamie Clayton leaves the LWORD Generation Q, I'm going to be pissed, because I really love the fact that they have her in this season. I like her with Shane, and Shane needs somebody like Tess, because Shane is a fuck boy. Let's just be real. That's what Shane is. And with Tess, not so much. So I am 100% hopeful that that's going to happen. Now, what could happen, they're going to fucking break him up and Jamie Clayton's not going to be in the next season. And we may not even hear from her again, because let's be clear, that is something that happens on the L Word. People just effing disappear. So that will have me in my feelings. I want Angie next season to have a relationship with Marcus's family and her half-sister more. I really think that will help her. I think it will get her out of her mama's drama because her mama's drama is a mess. So I really think that could be honestly a thing that would make me happy. And I think something that will make that character grow even more. And she's young, so she really can grow. I want to see what happens with Micah and Maribel. Maribel is cool. I like her character, except for the fact that she likes to snitch a lot and be in other people's business. And that way she has a direct way of not having a filter sometimes can get on my nerves a little bit. I like it, but then I don't. Like, yeah, I realize that Finley is an effing mess, but the way Maribel just came out and blurted that out about her, what's going on with Sophie and Finley, but didn't talk about the fact that she was dating Micah. I don't want to see that shit in season 3. I want her to be like, this is my man. We're together. Fuck everybody who doesn't like it. Blah, 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 blah. I need that to happen. I'm not sure why we didn't have them in the season finale at all as a story. Because, I mean, yeah, they just are technically getting together. But, I mean, we could add something, except for Micah having that one cameo scene in the intervention. So definitely need to see what's going to happen with Micah and Maribel. I want their relationship to develop, and I need Maribel to stay out of other people's shit. Don't worry about other people's shit. Just worry about your own shit. Concentrate on you. Don't worry about your sister doing. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Concentrate on you. So I want that to happen. I want Bet to tell Tina to get the fuck out of the way and walk past her and go to that damn art show with Pippa. Tell Tina to get a life. Tell Tina to get effing therapy. Give her Linda's phone number from Lucifer and say, holla. That's what I need to happen. What might happen is that we have this thing where Bet's like, I'm confused now. I don't know what I want. I mean, I've always loved Tina. But then Tina was getting married and then I met Pippa. And Pippa's always been someone I admired and obsessed over. And now I'm finally with her. But it's like, is it tangible? And is it a dream? I don't know what to do. And then she's got to miss her fucking window because Pippa's going to be like, I don't care that you're confused. I don't have time for this shit. Yeah, you can still represent my art, but I'm out. I will hate that. I will effing hate that. That will make me extremely in my feelings because again, Bet and Tina have gone back and forth so damn much. I have whiplash and it's been years since OG LWORD. We do not need a repeat of the same tired ass whiplash roller coaster ride that is these two people together. I realize that you guys need a reason, writers, to keep Tina involved in this show, but they already have one. She is the mother of Bet's daughter. So she has a right to be there anyway. And then she can go off and have her own effing adventures with somebody else, be it Carrie or somebody else that she actually respects, because it's pretty damn obvious she does not respect Carrie. I do not want Carrie next season to be written out. I want Carrie to have an effing storyline where she meets somebody who basically helps her empower herself, not makes her feel powerful because they love her, but makes her understand that she has value and lives her own damn life and then still gets somebody who thinks she's good or great in return. I do not like this effing imbalanced relationship between her and Tina, where she holds Tina on this damn pedestal and Tina milks that shit up and makes, Carrie feel like a secondhand citizen. I do not want, let me say it again. I do not want Carrie to get back with Tina in season 3. Hell no. That ship has sailed for Carrie. She needs to understand that. Tina is not effing worth it. I said it. I mic dropped right there. Don't want it to happen because it's toxic as shit. There's no reason for her to get back with Tina now. Especially since Tina took her ass to Bet's door. So, and there's no reason for Bet. Nobody's going to sit here and tell me, oh, well, Tina just went there to clear the air and apologize for. No. Because if you look at it from the perspective of you believe that Bet was the one who caused Carrie to call off your wedding and you got just what you wanted and then you storm off and then you show up later at the house. What for? There's no reason for that. You should still be pissed off. No, she went back there to do that whole freaking reverse psychology crap. No. And I said no. And just so we're all clear, I said no. So that is what my hopes are. Now, what's probably going to happen is there's going to be some effed up way that Carrie's going to try and get back with Tina, which is going to piss me off. Again, Bet's going to be in that whole in-between wishy-washy shit again with do I get back on this roller coaster or do I actually move past this and do this thing called moving on and progressing my life with somebody else that isn't as effed up as this relationship? There's so many avenues that this can take, but because it is the L word and we have seen how a lot of these characters sabotage their own damn lives, I can't say that. I cannot say that that's not going to happen. And that's sad. So yeah, I'm hoping we get season 3. I didn't look to see if it was renewed. Hopefully it is. I really want it to be more than 10 episodes. I feel like there's a lot of story here and a lot of characters that are going through shit. And I feel like 10 episodes is it's not enough time to flesh all of it out. So I don't know. All right, let me move up. Again, Jamaican Suen. Am I saying that right? Suen 22. Repeat your question below if I did miss it. I'm sorry. Yes, Bet was too powerful for Gigi. Danny and Gigi are both tops, but are functional as a couple, while Bet simply couldn't stand Gigi's top vibes. Yeah, Beth doesn't like anybody that challenges her, to be fair. Except for Pippa, because Pippa does not seem to be a bottom too. She seems like they would go, hand in hand. Like they switch places. Jamie's got to be cast as Pinhead, or going to be cast as Pinhead in Hellraiser, so I think she may go on. Well, man, you can still do movies, though. It depends on what the schedule is. There are tons of actors that are on shows that are doing movies, so that's not necessarily true. It just depends on when the schedule of the shooting, when they're shooting is. So, because remember, it's not like Tessa's in every scene. She's a regular character right now, but she's not a main character. So they could always schedule her scenes around that. So that is possible. I want Tasha to come back. So do I. But this is so hard for me, though. Because I like Alice with Tom, but I loved Alice with Tasha. And I'm not going to do a polyamorous thing with Tasha, Alice, and Tom, because that's not going to work. I really, even if Tasha does not come back, I need to know what in the hell happened with her. Because it's like, we're not getting that. We're not getting closure. They said what happened with Jenny. We understand that Carmen is still a regret for Shane. She mentioned it, or at least talked around it. We're getting like little eggs and nuggets, or little clues and little nuggets of what happened with some of the people, but they're not telling us where the hell Tasha is. I mean, Alice has a whole damn book out. Tasha has to be at least a mini, section of that book. Where is Tasha? It's weird. It is really weird. We need more Bette and Danny in season 3. We need less Shane in the dark bars. Yep. I want Danny to go to therapy so she's not trauma bonding herself in a codependency situation. Yeah, I mean, let's be clear. They all need therapy. Like, all of them in this show need therapy. I need to know what caused Tasha and Alice to break up. Yes, so do I. That has been one of the main questions I've had since season 1. I don't know. Yep, I don't want Pippa to be a Jodie repeat. No, I do not either. And that's what it's starting to look like, and it's irritating. They need to end the Tina and Bette story next season. Just have them be good co-parents dating other people. I agree with that. I think Danny is going to lose her financial stability like Bette did in season 2 of the OG. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how she thrives on not being rich. I'm like, it's going to be interesting. If Pippa goes, will they add more Black LGBTQ? That's a damn good question, because to be clear, as a person of color who is part Black, love my Blackness, but look at me. I mean, so Bette, ambiguous as fuck, cannot. Yes, she claims her Blackness, has every right to, but when people look at her visually, it's just like it said in the script, how Angie even called her out. When people see you, they don't know what you are. So Bette is mixed like me. So we have a shit ton of mixed representation, even though we don't talk about it a lot in this show, which I'm not hating on because, we exist. But, even with Angie is half white. She just looks darker. Besides Pippa, we don't really have any other Black LGBTQ representation except for that one lady that owned the all Black bar that was doing poker night. We don't really have it. I thought it was very interesting that she even said, the lady who owned the bar, that there aren't any places really for them to go to have, they're more all Black, LGBTQ people together. And that's why she created that poker situation. I mean, the writers wrote that in the script, but yet didn't put that in the cast. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you see this is a problem, so why the hell are we fixing it? I guess they feel like, well, we got an Asian character. We have Danny, who represents, I can't tell if she's supposed to be Latina and, mixed with something else. I don't know. I don't know what avenue they were going with her, but she's a POC. So we have that. We have Afro-Latina. We have, Maribel, and we also have Sophie. So we have 2. So we have that. We have Tom. He's Black. We have Pippa. She's Black. 2 mixed girls. Then we have Shane and Alice, and Nat. But I'm never mentioning Nat's ass again. Then we have Gigi. So I feel like there's a lot of POCs. So they're probably like, can we really afford to keep adding more? But at the same time, since we're trying to be progressive and we're trying to be bold and do things other shows aren't doing, you need to have 2 Black lesbians. You need to show 2 LGBTQ people of color together in general more, because that's not something you see. It's always either interracial or white. That's normally what I've seen across the board. So I don't know. That's just me blubbering out of my mouth. Carrie coming back as Danny's lawyer. Okay. Wait. I keep forgetting that Carrie's a lawyer. I don't know why I thought Carrie was a doctor. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Carrie as a lawyer. So yeah, I can see that. I am the only one who wants Tina and Bet back together. Unfortunately, yes, I'm sorry. And I'm not going to disrespect your opinion because I feel like everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm tired of the train. I'm tired of the roller coaster. I did not pay to ride these rides. I'm sick of it. So it's what a thing. I'm with you. The team of drama takes so much away from Bet's story, too much time dedicated to it. It really does. It's sad that a character that's only been in 3 or 4 episodes, maybe 3. I think she's been in 3, but it could be a little bit more this season, has taken such, like her impact has been huge. It's like, wow. Like you were like literally like doing cameos and then all of a sudden you just blew everything the fuck up. And I'm like, I don't know. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Let's see. I think Sophie will have found another flame and will be sitting in the car with her when Finley walks out of rehab. Maybe that's why Finley was looking at her. She was like, well, you cheated with me, so you'll probably go cheat with somebody else while I'm out. I mean, once a cheater, you never know. I mean, I can't say that that's not going to happen, and that's sad. That is really sad. I love that we did get a happy ending for Angie and Jordy. I do too. They're cute. And like I said, they're young. They're going to make mistakes, but I'm glad that Jordy, like the whole prom situation and being focused on that and feeling more like a narcissist at the time kind of played out when she saw just how hurt Angie was, because Angie was going to break up with her. And now they're back to a point where she's being more supportive. So I do like that. So it's a thing. Jody sweeps in season 3 and tries to take Pippa away from Bet. That would be funny. I would be cool with that. Although I like Bet and Pippa together. Alice and Tosh broke up in season 6. Yes, they did. But remember, in the finale of the L Word, after Jenny was found in the pool, Tasha came back and said, I am here for you. So technically speaking, they broke up over that little thing where she was attracted to this other woman. And then she decided she chose Alice. So at the end of the season, she chose Alice. What the hell happened after that? What happened when, everything was said and done to Alice and Tosh after that moment? I need closure. But the end of season 6, they were back together. Yes, they were. Persian and Chilean. Is that her mix? That's really pretty next. Danny is Persian and Chilean mix. Okay, both in real life and on the show. That is very, very cool. I didn't know she was playing half Persian. That's cool. But she knows Farsi, so I guess that makes sense. So maybe her mother was Persian. That's pretty cool. I like doing 23andMe, guys, because, I know my immediate stuff. Like, my mother was born and raised in Scotland, extremely white, and my dad is half Black, half Indigenous. I even know the tribe that my grandfather was from, so hence why I came out looking crazy. But I also found, when you do your 23andMe, it finds all this other stuff, and I'm like, I know I had a lot of Asian, like Southeastern Asian, at Pakistani. I have a huge chunk of Bengali, and what's so weird to me is I know nothing about, being Bangladesh or any of that. I know it's an Asian Indian. It's crossed between Northern Indian and a I think it's Southeast Asian. But what's so weird to me is that I have a lot of indigenous in my background, like a lot of Native American, like a huge, part of my culture, because my grandfather, full Native American. My daughter did her 23andMe, and she's half Asian. Her father was Chinese and Vietnamese. But she did not, she inherited the Black, but did not inherit any of the Native Americans. She got the damn Bengali. And I'm like, what? So we looked and she's got Bengali on there. I'm like, wow. Something I didn't even know I had transferred to my child. So genetics are weird, man. Just throwing it out there. They're just really, really weird. Pippa and Bet is so needed. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I feel like you're going to see me undoing my hair. I'm being OCD, guys. I'm sorry. This thing is like driving me nuts. Sorry about that. I just don't like when your hair gets out of place. It just drives me nuts. So I love, so Pippa and Bet are needed on a whole different level. I feel like Pippa is in a mental place, a maturity level that Tina is not at. And I feel like Bet needs that because Bet aspires to be in this place, but she's not really there either because Bet never shows her real feelings. Let's be real. She doesn't show her true feelings. She shows what she thinks you should see because she's got that, she has that professional persona. You know, she puts it out there. She doesn't want to be a stereotype, a person of color that just, you know, is somebody who basically does everything on emotion, blah, blah, blah. Even though she can lose her shit and we've seen her have a temper, she doesn't do that. So I like that about her. And I feel like Pippa can call Bet out on her shit that Tina would never be able to do that. She would never be able to do it. Because at the end of the day, if you look at Tina and you look at Carrie, the power dynamic, Tina is kind of the alpha in that situation. She is the one that's held on the pedestal. She's the one that knows that her partner has inferiority complex. And she's the one, you know, she can choose to either talk them down or let them run wild with these rapid self-hatred thoughts. But with her and Bet is the alpha and Tina is Carrie. So that is literally how I see it. So basically, Tina is with Carrie so she can be a Bet, if that makes sense. But with Pippa and Bet, they're on the same footing to me. So I like them. I think they're really cool. That's how I see it. Oh, yeah. Season 3 is wide open. I'm excited. I am excited. I'm absolutely 1,000,000,000% excited for season 3. I really am. I want Carmen to be back next season. It's so easy to change her into, I know in that person Mexican 6, they won't do the Mexican mix. Okay, so I don't understand this. And maybe you guys can help me out, okay? And if you watch my Charm reviews, and you know it comes back in January, so we'll have Charmed again. As somebody who is mixed and does not have Latina or Hispanic in her, per se, I have Southern European, but that means, again, that's a DNA thing. No culture that I've been raised in has been, you know, basically Latina or Hispanic. Why is it okay in Charm to cast 2 women who are half white and half black as Afro-Latina? And nobody says cultural appropriation. And to caveat off that, Sarah Jeffrey, who plays Maggie, played Jennifer Lopez's daughter, full Hispanic. And what's her show? Shade of Blue, I think it was called, the cop series. Nobody said anything about the fact that this girl is not at all Latina or Hispanic. She is literally white, black, and I think she's indigenous like me. How is that okay? But Carmen can't come back because she's not Hispanic. Somebody explain the cultural appropriation issue. I need explanations on this because I don't get it. So I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I'm just confused why it's okay in certain series and not in others. I need to understand why that's a thing because it makes zero effing sense. And the person they just cast to replace Macy's actress, she is half black, half white from Australia. So if she comes in playing an Afro-Latina, and they didn't even bother casting Afro-Latina, and then I think Ruby's actress, who plays the girlfriend of one of the girls, or Mel, I think she actually is Afro-Latina. It makes no effing sense to me in Charm. So I don't understand. I guess I need somebody to explain it to me. Please explain the difference. I need to know. But yeah, that's why Carmen cannot come back. And instead of, I know they don't want to recast her because the chemistry between her and Shane is real and they're friends in real life. So it's a thing, guys. What about if we had Max back in season 3? He was left barefoot and pregnant at the end of OG 6. I would love to see where he is 10 years later. I would love to see that too. That whole storyline was weird as hell to me, though. My spouse is transgendered, so a lot more like Micah, but with more common sense. But I mean, I've always felt how they handled the transgender journey in OG, obviously LWORD series was not normal or correct, But I guess because they were doing it when nobody else was, and, I guess they were still so new to it. I always feel like if you don't have a full grasp of the journey of something that's so sensitive, just don't do it. Introducing Max as a trans character, maybe they were pressured to, LGBT, TTT. But at the same time, if you got no one on your staff that can help you, then what's the effing point of doing the storyline? I don't get that. So it's a thing. It is a thing. Pippa absolutely called Bet out 100%. I loved it. She mic dropped her all the damn time. Kate seems on board to have Sarah come back. Yeah, Sarah said they didn't call her, and the showrunner did an interview and literally said, we're not bringing Carmen. The showrunner wanted to bring Carmen back. Went to the writer's room, and her Hispanic, she said, my Hispanic writers said, hell no. And that is why we don't have Carmen. They said no. The writers refused. So, and she even, I'll try and find the article and I'll link it in the description of this video, where she even offered to change her to Persian. That was something she said herself, and they still wouldn't go for it. So we're not getting Carmen. I want to see Pippa's son come in and interact with Angie and Jordy. So do I. I want to know where Pippa's son is in general. I'm like, we keep mentioning this, but where is this son, this elusive child? Maybe Gigi and Carmen are related. I would love that. How effed up would it be if Danny, goes over to another family event and then there's Carmen sitting there? Now, you think about Tess and Shane being together. Throwing Carmen into that would be absolutely effing hilarious. Let's see. Exactly. The cultural appropriation thing seems so dumb to me, especially when so many other things can go wrong. These series and literally nobody cares. But yeah, and it only applies to certain things. I understand cultural appropriation is a problem. I get that, but I mean, just my daughters have Asian. My spouse is Korean American, and my spouse could literally go to an audition and be cast as a Chinese person, a Japanese person. I feel whatever they feel they need in that role. Not understanding that Koreans and Chinese and Japanese don't look anything alike, nothing alike, but you still cast my spouse as a Chinese person in a movie and nobody says shit. So, I mean, it's a thing. Just I'm a big comic book nerd. I love talking about so one of the things in MCU, it looks like they're trying to bring in basically the Agents of Atlas, or Atlas Foundation, headed by a Chinese man named Jimmy Woo. Well, we have Jimmy Woo in the MCU, but they cast a Korean man to play a Chinese character. Nobody's saying shit. Nobody's saying shit. But here we got Shang-Chi, who in the comics actually was half Chinese and half white. And people are going crazy because he wasn't raised in China. And you know what? I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand why some things are okay and other things are not okay. It is absolutely crazy to me. But that's the world we live in. This is our social climate. It's just what it is. Alexander Hedison should be brought back. Just a thought. I agree with that. I miss Carmen, but I respect the writers taking a stand for themselves. I get that. And like I said, I'm not against wanting somebody to represent you. I mean, I say it all the damn time, being mixed. I want to have characters that are like me. I don't want to have characters that are ashamed to be me. I love this show called Dear White People. I can do an entire thing on how I love this show. But the character of Sam, on some level, is problematic as fuck. Because she, no matter how much she denies it, and actually she starts not denying it more later on in the season, she's also half white. And by her literally hating and saying she literally made the discussion of all white people are horrible and then had to defend having a white boyfriend when you are half white is not believable to me. Because that's not how the world works. I mean, at the end of the day, and I said, this is my favorite thing to say, my dad will never be white. My mother, rest in peace, was never going to be Black or Native American or anything else that I was. Her being white it wasn't a thing for me because, I came out of my mother. She was my mother. I love my mother. I wouldn't be here if not for my mother. And I'm not going to let anybody tell me that I have to hate my mother because of a climate, because of racism. Because in my house, I didn't think about that shit. That was my mother and that was my father. That is it. And it would be like going into your house and telling you can't love your mother because your dad's being oppressed, which is actually happening. Like I said, racism is real, guys. We're not, BLM is needed. I understand that. There are some extremists to everything, but we understand this. But do not walk into my house and tell me I have to pick between my damn parents. That shit pisses me off. Every storyline that I see like that pisses me off. If we watch the L Word and they told Angie, you have to, love Bet, but you can't love Tina because she's the problem. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. So that is something people never understand. When you mix, you go through it. You go through it, guys. You go through it. No Alex, please. You don't like Alex? Cherie coming back, I was like, that was a deep cut. Yeah, they did that to throw some drama in with Tess. I don't even know why Tess was attracted to her. I'm going to be real with you. I forgot about her. I kind of want a really cute guy to sweep in and cause trouble for Micah and Maribel. We can't have them too happy. It is the L Word after all. Yeah, I mean, we got to have drama. We got to have drama. I mean, this is basically a soap opera, so bring Sarah Shahi's actors back as some new character. Then Shane will meet her and the chemistry will flow. She'll be like, you look like my ex. Like, that would be funny. Yes, it's racism. Yeah, like I said, racism is across the board. And like I said, I'm not saying BLM is not needed. I can't love my blackness and not think that that's not something that is needed. Because again, I have entitlement. I've come to this. I don't look like I'm black. I look like I'm a POC, but I will never be pulled over for being black. I will never be stopped for being black. I'm almost 45 years old. It has never happened. And I live in the damn South. So it's never happened. So I respect the fact that when your skin is darker in this country, you go through a lot of damn shit. It's true. Not saying I have not experienced racism. I just haven't experienced it as a black person, even though I am part black. But at the same time, I hate people telling me and other people who come from interracial families. I don't even care if you're not half black. I don't care if you're half white and half Chinese. Do not tell us who the hell we are, because that shit pisses me off. It pisses me off because to me, it's ignorant. You don't get to tell me who I am. You don't get to check my box for me. You don't get to put me in your, you don't get to define me to make yourself feel better. So that shit pisses me off. And so I had a lot of problems with some of the stuff I've been seeing has been pissing me off. But that's just me. It is just me. Venting. But yeah, so let's talk about L Word. Overall, I did enjoy this. I did think it was way too damn short. It was too short. There are too many storylines going. I needed more. I really wish that we had more than 10 episodes. I kind of wish we got at least 16. Because there was so much we could develop and stretch out. Because even with Tina, like I said, she was like literally a cameo. She was an effing cameo in these little scenes in certain episodes. And then she just comes in and blows everything up. And I'm like, that is so, it's like all the hard work we just went out the window because of your scene. Like, so I kind of feel like that there, I don't know. That was my main takeaway. And I feel like they were trying to recreate the suspense that we got with, will Sophie get on the plane with Danny? Will she get on the plane with Finley? Now we have, well, Bet, go and talk to Tina or let her in the house, or will she get in the car and go to the art museum? That's how they like to close that shit off. And I'm like, oh, something else, guys. I got to say it. Where the fuck is Shane's dog? Is the dog dead? Where is the damn dog? Nobody's feeding the dog. I love my dog. I don't understand why Shane can't love her dog too. The dog deserves food. It deserves to go for walks. It deserves to get its shots. Where is your dog, Shane? Who's taking care of this dog? They just don't care. This dog was mentioned twice in this entire damn season. Where's the damn dog, Shane? If you can't take care of your dog, you can't take care of anybody. So, and we know if Finley's not doing it because Finley is in rehab, maybe. So yeah, I'm in my feelings about that. I need to know. That's our biggest mystery for season 2 finale. Where is Shane's dog? Yep, you already got it. Where's the damn dog? Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, we are at an hour and 13 minutes. I got to roll out because I got another stream coming at 4, and that is for Arrowverse. So if you are a Stargirl and Supergirl fan, we will be talking about that at 4 o'clock. So I will pop that stream up very soon. You will also see 2 more streams that'll be popped. So we got 3 streams today. If you have any other comments, suggestions, theories, questions, just want to say shit, Put it in the comments below because that's what you do, guys. Also, if you are in an area where it is day for you, have a very good day. If it is evening for you, have a very good evening. And until my next video at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will see you guys later. Bye.